Meet John Rigas. He was a small-town theater owner who bought a tiny cable franchise in 1952 for just $300. Over the decades, John grew Adelphia Communications into a massive monster, becoming the fifth largest cable company in America. By the late 1990s, the company was worth billions. Wall Street completely adored them, hailing John as a genius visionary. He populated the board of directors with his own sons, keeping the multi-billion-dollar public giant tightly controlled as a family business. With their family firmly in control of the finances, they had direct, unchecked access to the massive corporate treasury. But behind the scenes, they weren't just taking salaries. They were secretly borrowing vast sums of money directly from the company. They used the public company's credit line to fund an incredibly lavish, ultra-wealthy lifestyle that would shock ordinary investors. They bought luxury condos in Colorado, high-end apartments in New York, and flew on private corporate jets for personal family vacations. John even used corporate cash to build a private, ultra-exclusive $30 million golf course in his Pennsylvania hometown. In one of their most absurd personal expenses, they spent $6,000 of company money to fly a Christmas tree to John's daughter. They kept the massive debt hidden from public view by placing it on the books of completely separate, private family-owned partnerships. But hiding billions of dollars of toxic debt from Wall Street regulators is a ticking time bomb. The twist? On March 27, 2002, a tiny, quiet footnote in a quarterly earnings release casually revealed that Adelphia was secretly liable for $2.3 billion in co-borrowed family debt. Wall Street absolutely panicked. Investors suddenly realized the corporate books were completely cooked, and the stock price immediately plummeted. In just a few short weeks, the stock collapsed from $20 per share down to literally pennies, completely vaporizing investor fortunes. Facing a massive liquidity crisis and unable to borrow any more money, the company's survival was completely impossible. In June 2002, Adelphia officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, making it one of the largest corporate bankruptcies in U.S. history at the time. Federal regulators and criminal investigators from the Department of Justice immediately swarmed the company's offices. They quickly discovered that the Rigas family had systematically lied about the company's financial health and actual subscriber numbers. In July 2002, federal agents arrested John and his sons, parading them in front of national news cameras in a highly publicized perp walk. Prosecutors officially charged them with conspiracy, bank fraud, and securities fraud, accusing them of running a multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise. The prosecution laid out exactly how the family treated a massive public company like their own personal piggy bank, completely ignoring corporate laws. John's defense team claimed that the transactions were fully disclosed and that he was just a small-town businessman who didn't understand complex Wall Street accounting. But the mountain of financial evidence was completely overwhelming. The jury was not sympathetic to their excuses. In 2004, after a dramatic trial, John Rigas and his son Timothy were officially found guilty of multiple counts of corporate fraud. The twist? Unlike many modern corporate white-collar criminals who get off light, the judge handed the 8-year-old John Rigas a crushing 15-year federal prison sentence. His son Timothy was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The proud Rigas family dynasty was completely and utterly destroyed. Meanwhile, the bankrupt Adelphia Communications was completely stripped of its assets to pay back angry creditors. In 2006, rival cable giants Comcast and Time Warner Cable bought up all of Adelphia's assets for $17 billion, completely dissolving the brand. Regular public shareholders who had trusted the company with their retirement savings recovered next to nothing from the liquidation. The shocking collapse of Adelphia, along with Enron and WorldCom, forced the U.S. government to pass the strict Sarbanes-Oxley Act to police public companies. The law completely rewrote corporate rules, forcing company executives to personally vouch for the absolute accuracy of all their financial reports. Under these new laws, knowingly signing off on false financial books carried massive criminal prison sentences of up to 20 years. John Rigas served several years of his long sentence in a federal correctional facility in Pennsylvania as his health rapidly declined. In 2016, his defense lawyers successfully petitioned the court for a compassionate release, claiming he had terminal cancer and only months to live. The federal judge agreed to release John on compassionate grounds, letting the 91-year-old former billionaire go home to die in peace. Everyone expected John to pass away within a few weeks of his compassionate release. But John Rigas was a survivor. The ultimate twist? The terminally ill John Rigas shockingly survived for another 5 full years after his release, eventually dying in 2021 at the ripe old age of 96. The legacy of the Adelphia Communications scandal remains one of the most prominent warnings in the history of American business. It proved that when family loyalty completely replaces professional corporate oversight, the regular public shareholders are always the ones who pay the price. Today, major public companies are legally required to maintain entirely independent boards of directors to prevent exactly this kind of family piggy bank abuse. Financial analysts and Wall Street regulators still study the Adelphia case files to train the next generation of white-collar forensic auditors. Because no matter how fancy the corporate skyscraper or how visionary the founder, basic accounting rules can never be cheated forever. In the end, John Rigas's visionary cable empire didn't build a lasting dynasty. It just built a historic, multi-billion-dollar roadmap of corporate fraud. If you want to see more high-stakes corporate downfalls, landmark boardroom battles, and crazy true crime legal breakdowns, make sure to slam that subscribe button right now. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think his compassionate release was fair? See you in the next breakdown.